Okay, finally get a chance to record more Mass Effect 2, which is gonna be awesome.
No messages for you, Commander.
Good. Now stop talking. So yeah, now we're going to do a combination of the question and answer section as well as going around during the question and answer section and probing on a bunch of planets to see if we can get enough materials to upgrade a bunch of shit on our ship. So while I'm doing this, I've printed out a bunch of questions that a lot of people have asked me, either private messages on YouTube or sending to me on Twitter. Or a couple of them are actually from the comments, even though apparently they couldn't follow directions, but that's okay. I was able to find them and keep track of them, so I wrote them down, and now I'm gonna answer them all. Or most of them, at least. Let's see. So you're going to hear a lot of background noise with me flipping papers and stuff. So, let's get started on the probing first. Make sure I've got the stuff I need. Yep. There's a gate. A relay. Whatever. So a lot of people said that when I do this, I should go to the local cluster for whatever reason. I don't think many of these places are going to have good resources, just because it makes sense that you would have probed them already as a species, but we'll figure that out. Mercury. Moderate, huh? Well, let's see what it's got. And I know a lot of people said that I shouldn't mess with planets with anything lower than like really awesome resource levels, but then I saw somebody else say, you know, the indicator for scanning results is just the number of places you can probe on the planet, and not necessarily the resources that you'll get from a particular spot. So I'll go ahead and probe a little bit. Let's see. First question we got is, do you think an RPG shooter like Mass Effect 1 or a shooter RPG like Mass Effect 2 makes a better game, and which one would you prefer in Mass Effect 3? God, I like both games. I like that they both have different elements to them. And sorry, I'm a little distracted by watching the little meter thing. Ooh, badass.
Launching probe.
Anyway, so I mean, I can't really say I prefer one over the other, but
Launching
what I
probe.
can say is that in Mass Effect 3, I like... Damn, this planet does actually have some decent areas. That's a little too low for me to worry about. Sorry.
Probe launched.
I would like Mass Effect 3 to have about the same action that this game did, but hopefully with a little more RPG elements, like from Mass Effect 1. I felt like there weren't enough RPG features, at least not yet, in Mass Effect 2. Also, somebody said that conversations aren't nearly as unique in Mass Effect 3 as they are in the other two games, and that would make me very sad.
Probe launched.
So yeah, that's basically it. I'd like a good, even distribution of both games. I like the action in this game, and I also like the... Where's the other planet? Venus. Oh, that's Venus. Duh, I thought that was Earth. I don't know why, because that's blue and green. Anyway. Let's see. Start scanner. I don't want to answer too many questions at a time and then get to the end and still need to do a lot of probing and not have enough questions left.
Launching probe.
Here's an interesting one. What game do you think has the best melee combat system, and why? I really hope you're not referring to Mass Effect, because Mass Effect doesn't really do a lot of melee combat. I mean, you can melee a lot in Mass Effect, but
Probe launched.
it's not really the purpose of the game. And I'm not a big melee fighting game kind of guy. I don't do a lot of those games. The only ones I've ever really liked were the original Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo and the Smash Bros series. It's like Smash Bros Melee, Smash Bros Brawl. Those were fun.
Launching probe.
I also played a lot of Soul Calibur, but I wasn't really very good at it. So, and this has a lot of palladium on it.
Probe launched.
So, yeah, that question kind of just piddled out there. I'm not much of a melee gamer. Let's see what else. Whoa, that's nice.
Launching probe.
I'm looking for element 0 because I know I'll eventually need a bunch of that. This planet has some weird shadow things. It's like shadowing over my little reticle. Moderate, huh? It doesn't look very moderate to me. I'm all the way to the other side of the planet. It's kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? Oh well. Skip that one. I don't expect there to be anything on Earth. Yeah, I didn't think so. Mars. Nope. Let's do Saturn since it's over here. Ooh. Good, huh? Wow, okay. That's nice.
Probe launched.
Whoa!
Launching probe.
Sorry. That's another entertainment value of this video, is you're gonna hear me like, oh my god, look at that spike, it's so huge. That's what she said. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Did you buy a crate of beer with the money I sent you last year? If not, I will be terribly disappointed. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you are going to be terribly disappointed. I'm not much of an alcohol drinker. I don't like beer. And if I do drink alcohol, it's usually a girly drink. So that's kind of sad.
Probe away.
But no, all the money I gathered last year, or however long ago it was, to build my new computer was spent on my new computer. I told everybody that any leftover money would be used on games and stuff like that. I didn't have any leftover money. I ended up having to spend some of my own money to finish off the purchase of the computer, so... but yeah, that kind of covers how your money was spent. Let's see, that's not half bad.
Probe launched.
Now it's poor. Let's give it a quick once over. That's good enough.
Probe launched.
Okay. I didn't think the local cluster would have very much, just because, like I said, you'd figure that you'd end up spending... As humans, when we got space travel, we'd go to our first planet system and explore that heavily. Moderate. Whoa. Okay. There seems to be a lot of platinum. That's good enough.
Probe launched.
Let's see. How did you meet your wife? That's an interesting story. Okay, so we both went to the same high school, but that really wasn't where we... I mean, that's where we met. So yeah, we met in high school, but in high school my wife hated my guts. She was very much an overachiever. She was at the very top of her class. She was a year ahead of me. And so she was a bit of an overachiever, and I was very much a nerd slacker. So I was the kind of kid that could have gotten really good grades and could have been near the top of my class, but was just too lazy, either because of overall just generic laziness or boredom with the easiness of the classes and stuff.
Probe launched.
But I was a slacker, and I got away with a lot of stuff that you shouldn't be able to get away with in high school. That's a good area.
Probe
I
launched.
think I'll leave now. Okay. So anyway, we knew each other in high school. We were familiar with each other. And... oh, Pluto's there. Does the mass relay orbit, or is there something on that further orbit? Whatever that 10th planet is they've discovered. I don't see it. No, I guess it's just an orbit of the mass relay. That's weird. That Pluto doesn't actually have an orbit listed. Let's do that. It's so cute, look at it. Moderate. Hey, not bad. Anyway, so like she was familiar with who I was because I would get away with stuff, and she hated me for it, obviously, like I've said. But then after high school, she and I were both really good friends with NapBFS. So I would go over to hang out with Nap, and she would go over to hang out with Nap, and we just had like this group that would hang out over there. So it'd be like me and her and Nap and X and Navard, or Abe, however y'all know him, and let's see, and a couple other people. And I guess just after hanging out and getting used to each other's personalities and stuff, apparently she developed a crush for me long before I even knew that she existed as a girl, you know what I mean? I always pictured her as quote-unquote one of the guys, which, much to her chagrin, she did not appreciate, obviously. I don't know, she was probably interested in me for probably about a year before I even knew anything about it. And then I guess things just worked the way they do. And we started dating, and like, I don't know, 6 or 8 months later I asked her to marry me, and like a year after that we got married. So it was very, the courting phase was very quick. So, let's see. Neptune. Let's get this one knocked down. Poor, huh? Let's give it a quick scan. Nothing interesting there. A little bit of palladium. I'm really hunting for element 0. I know it's very rare, but and since we had a training facility for biotics, we've probably mined it all out of our system. Yep, that planet's pretty much dead. Forget you, Neptune. Uranus. Let's see what this has. Depleted! Awesome! Okay, that was quick. Are there any systems near? I don't think there are. No. We don't have any other solar systems nearby, really. Tachanka. I want to go to places that don't have missions, preferably, so I don't get started on stuff. Okay, where did I leave off? How did you meet your wife? Okay. Basically, this question is a very long-worded version of what are your opinions of the whole SOPA, PIPA, ACTA plans and stuff like that. And he quotes something about how one of the things that Gabe Newell of Steam said, or Valve, however you want to look at it, that the only way to successfully fight piracy is to have a product that makes it easier to get your stuff than it is with piracy anyway. Like, God, it's not, I don't want to use the phrase DLC because I know that's wrong. What is it? The locking mechanism that a lot of companies are putting on their games that's really stupid, and it's preventing people from selling their used games and making it harder to play your own game just because they're like, well, we don't want you to steal our crap. And what I feel about that and what my opinions are about Gabe Newell's statement and all that stuff.
Anomaly detected.
Really?
Beacon triggered by Universal Distress Protocol. Unregistered.
Probe launched.
What?
Something on our sensors.
Ooh. Potential alien signatures within the mining facility. Whereabouts of the staff is unknown. Okay. I didn't actually expect to. Hold on, let's scan. Do you have anything? Rich. Awesome. Whoa. Yeah, okay.
Probe launched.
I'm gonna scan this place first. But I'm actually out of probes, so I need to hopefully and of course there's nothing here either. I'm gonna burn all my fuel. Hold on, I'll be back. I totally lost track of what I was talking about. I think this had a place where I could buy stuff. Oh! Sopa Pipa. Alright. Okay, let's go back. I was over here. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, I think to make a long story short, I think a lot of the whole laws that they're trying to put into place to control the internet are terrible ideas. But for the most part, do I believe that piracy is the way to get your products? No.
Launching probe.
I think a product like Steam is perfect, but they need to make it, for each product that they make a Steam-like way to get the item, they need to make sure that it's easy to use and non-restrictive. I'm not a huge fan of Apple, primarily because a lot of their stuff is extremely restrictive. There's a lot of apps, for example, that you can buy on the iPhone that cost you money, that you could just as easily get an equal app on an Android phone for nothing, because they don't restrict the ability to do stuff. And it's a stupid business model, but for the public, it's a stupid business model. It's a great business model for them, because they can then look at apps that directly compete with a product that they have and say, no, we don't want to have this app in our store, solely because it competes with one of their ideas, which is bad for consumers, good for them, but that's not what the consumers want.
Launching probe.
And you have to do the same thing with music. So like the iTunes setup is not the best way to do it. I'm not saying it's bad, it's decent, but there are better ways to do things, and companies just aren't doing it right. They're making it so that pirating stuff is easier than just using their product. I think that's worth a probe.
Probe away.
There we go. Okay. So I'm going to finish this sector real quick before I land on that planet. Start scanner. Another rich planet. Awesome. I like this place. I'm going to have to spend some of this stuff so I can actually see what stuff I need to waste probes on. Like, if I don't need palladium for anything, I might as well not probe for it anymore. So yeah, this Steam is a really good idea for games. It works extremely well, and it's been very well documented that when Steam does things like put their games on sale for 75%, you think that would equal out, because you would estimate, okay, well, if you discount something by 3/4, you would get 75 or whatever 300% more sales to help compensate for that. But actually, he's getting like 600 or 700% additional sales out of it, so he's actually making more profit than he would if he sold the item at full price. So it's an excellent business idea. God, there's a lot of palladium. Let's go there.
Launching probe.
There's some up here too, wasn't there? That's right there.
Probe launched.
So yeah, I think Netflix is a relatively good idea for things like that, for movies, because you spend a monthly fee that's relatively affordable. And you can watch unlimited TV shows and movies.
Probe away.
On a separate note, do I think what Netflix did earlier with their prices and stuff was a smart move? No. They've admitted that was stupid. Jeebus.
Probe away.
Okay, I'll just probe this planet to death then, shall I? I think I'll stop for a second. Let me back off. Let's go buy a couple upgrades real quick. I think that if you're going to have a product like Netflix, the best way to handle it, it's a better Canon mineral scanner. I'm not even reading this. This will greatly speed up planet scanning process. I don't know how. Thantix cannon. Ooh, powerful enough to destroy a collector's ship. Buy? Oh, research. That's it. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Prototypes, I guess. Heavy bone weave, Krogan shotgun. The avalanche, what is this? Cryo rounds, okay. Retrain, I definitely don't want to do that. Back. Ship enhancements. Modular probe bay, that's more probes. 50% fuel, and a mineral scanner. I don't really need any of those. Somebody said this wasn't really important because all it does is heal your scars. So I don't care about that. Hard shields. Shields take 20% less damage. That's actually a good idea. Whoa, sometimes when his shields go down, they are instantly fully restored. I like that. Can I buy both of those? 25 and 15, that's 40. I like the redundant field generator first, because that won't be far off. Let's see what else we've got. Heavy pistol upgrade. Increases damage by 50% against armors. Heavy pistol critical. Submachine gun extra rounds. Shield piercing. This stuff is a little less important. I think I'll go with armor. I'll get the redundant shield generator first. And then I'm only 2,500 away from, or 1,500 away from hard shields, so I'm not going to worry about that. Krogan shotgun. Grunt gets a Claymore heavy shotgun. I think I'll go with that. I use Grunt a lot. Okay.
No messages for you, Commander.
How many probes do I have? So, yeah, long story short, that question took like 2 planets. But it is something that needs to be addressed. Their whole idea of trying to control the ability to pirate stuff is technically a smart idea. You don't really want to let people just have free realm of getting stuff for nothing. Because that does kind of mess with the economy a little bit.
Launching probe.
God, I need stuff that uses iridium and palladium. Hard shields are available. Good. Apparently I do use a lot of palladium.
Probe launched. Probe away.
I'm gonna finish this planet up real quick before I start the next question. Actually, I think I'll skip that mission, just come back to it after the probing is completely done.
Launching probe.
I might need the bigger probe bay, actually. I'll come back to that.
Probe away. Probe away.
Okay, that's good. Well, let's go to that sector over here real quick. Why not? Rich, ooh. Oh yeah. Element 0. Nice.
Probe launched.
I'm gonna save my probes until I finish scanning this planet. It actually contains element 0 periodically. Oop.
Probe launched. Probe away.
Seems to be in the middle areas where it has most of its element 0. There was a pocket around here somewhere that was decently sized. Maybe that's it.
Probe away.
It's not good enough. Okay. You know, it's rare enough. I'll use a probe over here. There we go.
Probe launched.
Okay. Let's go get a couple more upgrades. This is going to get a little tedious walking back and forth. Sorry, it's a necessary evil. Ship enhancements. Back. What was that? That was armor I was going to get, wasn't it? The hard shields. Bam! Prototypes. I do have a lot of iridium. Element 0 required for advanced training. Shepard can learn to use a single bonus power. Oh, that's right. I know what that is. That's how I added another power a long time ago. That was what I was just in, actually. Ship enhancements. I don't really need more fuel, but I am very tempted to get more probes. No, hold off. Metagel capacity to reach my max. I think I like that. Okay. Upgrades. Oh, this is just viewing my existing upgrades. Bypass module. Heavy ship armor. Multi-core shielding. And then the Thanix cannon. Okay, so that's weapons, shield, and armor for my ship. So that's good. There's got to be something else I can upgrade that doesn't seem like all of it. Hey, you.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. And don't worry, it will not affect how I do my job. It's over.
You don't have... Okay.
We'll talk later.
Peace! So I guess, yeah, that's basically all the upgrades left. Cool! Limits what I need to do, at least. So let's see what else we can buy. Might as well go ahead and start buying stuff. I'm not going to use her very often, I don't think. Armor upgrades. Let's do weapons first. I would like the extra rounds, please. 50% additional rounds. That's a lot. Let's do that. Heavy pistol, assault rifle. Okay. Moving on. What's the next question? Oh, okay. Oops. I didn't explore that other planet. Just fly through their star real quick. So the next question, Rich, okay, is do you prefer Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2 more? This does kind of go back to... Oops. I got no probes. What do I do? I guess I have to go back. Might as well leave at that point. Tachanka. This kind of goes back to... Do you think Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2's gameplay style is better? I like both games' playstyle. Is there a small... There is a small thing right there. Ooh, what the hell is that? I don't know if I personally prefer one game over the other. I like the length of Mass Effect 2 much more than Mass Effect 1. By the time you started getting really excited about stuff in Mass Effect 1, the game was over. So that was kind of a letdown. I was like getting really pumped up and really excited about stuff, and then the game was like, and done.
Probe launched.
This game tends to keep the excitement going longer, which is good. However, like I said in the previous question, I would like them to put more of the RPG features back into the game. Having too few options, at least for me, was a bit of a letdown. I wasn't like immensely disappointed, obviously, but I was like, oh, there's not as much selection. Maybe, because I know there are a lot of people that preferred 2 over 1, because there are a lot of people that like the shooter and don't like the RPG.
Probe launched.
But maybe you could have like difficulty levels in Mass Effect 3. I know they're already done with the game, so
Probe launched.
suggesting things really isn't going to do anything, but maybe there could be a difficulty level that would increase the ability of getting more individualized with what you're wanting to do.
Probe away.
If that makes any sense whatsoever. I know that might be confusing to some people. But overall, both games are excellent.
Probe launched.
I prefer the RPG elements from the first game, and I prefer the action from the second game. So if they can kind of even those two out in the next game, in 3, that would be awesome! moderate. And there's not a whole lot over here, is there? I know how to launch a probe, I just don't want to. For being a moderate planet, this planet doesn't have jack. It's just all sparsely, lightly placed. There's no huge peaks of... Oh, speak of the devil.
Probe launched.
There's no huge peaks of stuff, or at least not very many. It all seems to be mediocrely spread out.
Probe launched.
What is your favorite species in Mass Effect, and why? I like most of the species pretty evenly. I don't know if I could definitively say I prefer one over the other.
Probe launched.
What I will say is some of my favorite races, I'll say that. If I can find this damn peak, where the hell did it go? There it is.
Probe launched.
I think that's probably all I'm going to get out of here.
Launching probe.
Okay. So I really like the Quarians because I'm a big nerd and they're very techy as a people. So that's very entertaining. Rich again, huh? Down with that.
Probe away.
I respect the
Launching probe.
I can't think of their name. The Krogan. I respect the Krogan a lot.
Probe launched.
Like I've probably stated a dozen times, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and the Krogan very much remind me of Klingons from Star Trek.
Probe away.
The kind of bullshit they've had to put up with and stuff like that. I don't know why. For some reason, planets that look like this tend to have stuff around their equator more. It's convenient for me because it makes it easier to probe.
Probe launched.
I see it went from rich to good. Just out of probing the equator.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
Okay. So that's good for this planet. Let's come out here and scan this one. What are you? Poor. Give it a quick once over. Because if that pore is one spot of element 0, it's worth it. Of course it's not. That's probably all of it right there. That was most of it.
Probe launched.
I don't really have a huge respect for Turians as a race. I like the Turians in general, like a couple of them. A couple of them are really cool, but the race itself just seems kind of meh. Not all that exciting to me.
Probe launched.
So it's just kind of, I don't know, they're lost on me somehow. I know that tends to be a lot of people's favorite, but for me it's just, eh. I could do without. There it is. Moderates. gonna have to stop here in a minute and spend some more.
Probe launched.
I do like the Drell. The Drell seem really cool. So, there's that. And of course, the humans are badass in general. Just because, well, they're humans. What's next? That was race and species. Next is, have you pre-ordered Mass Effect 3 yet? Yes, I have. Pre-ordered it probably 2-3 weeks ago from GameStop. So I can't remember what the pre-order bonus was from GameStop. But at the time I was like, it's better than the pre-order bonus from Origin, at least in my opinion. So I'll get it from there instead. Oh, it's already poor. Oops. Duh. So let's go refill on stuff, and then I'll explore a little bit around here. Let's spend some money real quick. That was a rather straightforward question, actually. Did you pre-order the game? Yes. Next question. Ship enhance. Okay, I need to stop looking at ship enhancements. Krogan Vitality. 5,000. Shepard takes 50% less damage from melee attacks. I don't really do that. Let's get Krogan Vitality, shall we? Weapons upgrades. Submachine gun damage would be useful. I do use a lot of that. Squad bonus 50% heavy pistol damage against armor. Let's do submachine gun damage. It doesn't cost much either. SMG shield piercing. Could be very useful. Oh, that doesn't cost anything. Might as well, right? Heavy pistol critical. Let's back off. Armor. Emergency shielding. Platinum. I need 25,000 platinum for that. What does this do? Oh, so it's like a secondary shield. Cool. One more biotic upgrade. I do want to save 25,000 platinum for that. That's what I was just in. $15,000 platinum for that. I like that. So I'll get another, what is that, 40,000 platinum? Okay.
No messages for you, Commander.
Okay. Let's see. Next question. Are you going to any meet and greets or conventions that we can see you at? No. It's got nothing to do with me not wanting to meet anybody or be seen in public or anything like that, because personally, I don't care. All these little moons are screwing me up. Rich, huh? Neat. Ooh, element 0, I saw that. Where'd you go? Alright, I'll just have to mine you out then, aren't I? Oh, I do need platinum, so that's good. There it is.
Probe launched.
I don't need a ton of element 0, actually.
Probe away.
Oh, about the meet and greets thing. No, because the area where I live doesn't really have very many gaming type conventions.
Probe away.
And I don't have the money or the time to go somewhere. Like, I can't go to Comic-Con, or I can't afford to go to, well, I don't really have a reason to go to BlizzCon. I don't play a lot of Blizzard games. That's too much iridium to pass up, actually.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
But yeah, other gaming conventions like GDC or whatever, I don't know if that's a gaming convention. I'm not keeping track of the new ones. But yeah, I don't have the money to go. None of them are are very close, so I just don't even worry about it. Wow. Okay, yeah, getting that.
Launching probe.
Getting that.
Probe away.
Just because.
Probe away.
See what we got over here. There's another peak of element 0 somewhere.
Probe away.
Plus, I'm also not the most social person, as no offense, you could probably tell by how nerdy I am. Most nerd, geek, whatever people aren't incredibly social. I have my tight niche group of friends, and other than that, I'm just not super hot on hanging out with complete strangers. But I mean, if for some reason there was a huge gathering that I could afford to travel to and could take time off from work from, that I know a lot of people would go to, that would be interested in seeing me, I wouldn't have a problem doing it. But yeah, I'm just repeating myself now. They're all too far away and too expensive. Is it by choice that you never use your abilities in Mass Effect, or is it simply that you're forgetting to do so? It's a little of both. Most of the time, if I'm in a dire situation and I'm dying and I see comments later on that are like, why didn't you use this ability? It would have saved your ass. I would have been like, most of the time, I'm too distracted by what I'm currently doing to even think about using an ability. I also have a tendency of not wanting to use them unless they're completely necessary, so that's why I have a tendency of not using them. And then when I get in a stressful situation, I just straight up forget. So it's a little of both. I like to prove to people that yes, the ability is there, but no, it is not required to beat this section. Oop, I just missed a huge...
Probe launched.
So that's kind of what it is. I know it annoys a lot of people, but I'm playing the game, not you, so don't worry about it. Suck it up, deal with it, whatever you want to learn. It's just like, sorry, I'm going to keep playing the game the way I want to play it, and that's, if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
Probe away.
I'm really playing this game for my enjoyment, not yours, and I can't help but feel that I sound like a dick for saying this kind of stuff, but it's just like, if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to watch. All that good stuff.
Launching probe.
I don't want to be a douchebag about it, but there's no real way to say it other than like that, so sorry those people that makes angry. That's just the way I play my games. Okay, that looks good enough. I didn't even notice how many probes I had left. Let's see. 11. Okay. That shouldn't be too bad. What do you use to render and record your videos? somebody posted this question and said, I don't know what you use to record your videos, so I want to ask you, because Fraps sucks and I can't ever get it to record well. Well, I hate to tell you, whoever asked me that question, but I use Fraps, so if it sucks for you, either you've got settings wrong, or your computer's not good enough, or something. I don't know what to tell you, but if you're not getting the same quality video out of Fraps that I am, you're doing something wrong.
Probe launched.
Or you've got an inferior pirated version of the game. And that kind of goes back to what I said previously about piracy and stuff. If you want to do this
Probe away.
as a long-term hobby, because I'm never going to tell somebody, if you want to do this as a career, because don't do it as a career. I've been, like, I don't know what YouTube calls it, but I've been like a limited partner for
Launching probe.
probably a year now. And I looked at my cash account that they put money into for how much money I've earned making YouTube videos. They do not send you a check until you've received $100 in money. And in this year, I still haven't received a single check, and I looked at my account, and I've accrued about $38. So,
Launching probe.
do not do this as a job, unless you've got something really unique. And by unique, I don't mean making Call of Duty videos, but doing it in a different way. That doesn't count.
Probe launched.
But you know, I'm not doing this to make money. Am I making money doing this? A little. Have I seen any of it? No, absolutely not. And I won't for probably another 2 or 3 years, the way things are going. So I do this as a hobby. I like doing this. It's fun for me. And that's another reason why when people start giving me a hard time about how I play my games, I get really defensive. I'm like, I get to the point where people start arguing with me, well, you're not playing games the way I play games, or why do you get so mad when people give you spoilers, and you start banning people from making comments. And it's like, again, most of these people, most of you listeners aren't going to take offense to this, but to everybody who does take offense to this, this is my hobby. Not to sound incredibly blunt or anything, but go fuck yourself. I don't really care if you get upset because I blocked you for ruining my experience. It's the same thing as people who talk in the movie theater or have crying babies, and then you turn around and tell them to stop talking during a movie, and they're like, fuck you, I can do whatever I want. I paid for this movie ticket. No, screw you. I paid to have a good experience, and I don't care what you say. This is for me, and if my experience is ruined, I'm going to be pissed.
Probe away.
So I know 99% of you aren't going to take any offense to that at all, because it doesn't apply to you. And the little 1% that are like, oh, I don't agree with what he's saying, I'm going to unsub. Well, good riddance. Just go away, because I don't need you here anyway. So, but that's going to be the end of that rant. I don't want to continue on that, because that's just a negative road. Anyway, I haven't even finished answering that first question. What do you use to render your videos? That's the second part. Oops. Getting off my soapbox, or whatever it's called. Hold on. I had something. There it is. I'd rather do that, get a good amount of both. Oh, that's all of my probes. Isn't it? No, I still got one. There is a spike there. I don't think I need a lot of iridium. I'd like to see if I can find a big platinum spike, but I'm not gonna. So I'll cash in on this while it's here.
Probe away.
Oh, sorry. Render your videos. Same thing. I use Adobe Premiere to render my videos, and it works incredibly well. It's, God, how much was it? $100? $120? Something like that. You don't need to go out and buy like full CS5 Ultimate full version, blah blah blah. You just need Premiere just by itself. And I like the individuality it gives to me. I can do multiple video and audio streams when I want to, when I'm doing like PS3 games or something. I capture my video from a console using a Hauppauge Colossus internal PCI Express card. That is a huge star. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, and it all works incredibly well. You just have to realize that if you're gonna do videos for YouTube, you need to go at it thinking that it's gonna be a hobby, and you need to know that to make quality stuff that's gonna be very entertaining to your audience, you're gonna need to spend money, just like any hobby would. It's gonna cost you money, so just go in understanding that. But yeah, and there's a reason I only render my videos in 720p as well, is because I used to work in an AV company that did installations of like high-end home theater audio and video. And the reason I only make my videos in 720p and not 1080p most of the time is primarily because, scientifically speaking, being able to physically see the difference between 720p and 1080p would be 32-inch screen or larger. So if you're watching my videos on larger than 32-inch screens, I'm sorry. I'm not producing them in the optimum quality. But if you're sitting at home watching them like on a 24-inch or 27-inch monitor, or 17-inch monitor for that matter, for those people that are still on smaller screens, 720p full screen is not going to look much different from 1080p full screen. 1080p is going to look more grainy at that point. And if you personally prefer 1080, I don't, so sorry. It also saves on hard drive space, and I don't have an unlimited amount of hard drive space, considering that already one of the 2 terabyte drives that I had originally from my first computer before I built this new one died shortly after I built the computer. So now I didn't actually get an increase in hard drive space when NappyFS gave me one. I actually just replaced it. So I do have limitations as to how much I can store. Let's see. Next. That sheet gets out of the way. And we're all over halfway through the questions, I think. I hope this video doesn't go on much longer. Ooh, that was luck. Bam! Who do you prefer, Rex or Grunt, and why? That's an unfair question. That's like saying, we want you to take these 2 awesome options and then justify why you would pick only one. That's like, I think my head would explode if eventually, in Mass Effect 3 or something, the game was like, okay, here's Rex and here's Grunt. They're fighting. You can help one and the other one dies. Make a choice. I would just quit playing the game. I'd be like, no, they both live. I don't want either of them to die. If I was forced to choose, I don't know. I would probably say, Grunt. Solely off the purpose that while biotics are useful, I would prefer straightforward characters over characters that are multi-class. Which sounds weird considering I play a multi-class character. But there's a reason behind that. I play a multi-class character because that's what I wanted. I didn't necessarily want my my other people in my mission to be multi-class. There's a decent amount of element 0 on this planet. Maybe I'll get... No, I'm not going to get 25 grand off of this planet.
Probe away.
I don't think I'll need iridium anytime soon.
Launching probe.
Go there.
Launching probe.
So yeah, that's an unfair question. I don't want to choose between Rex and Grunt, really. I like them both. I just prefer Grunt's solely run and gun setup.
Probe away.
So if I wanted a biotic, I wouldn't. No offense. If I wanted a biotic, I would not take Rex. I would take like Subject Zero or God, I was about to say Samara, Morinth. Or somebody like that. Let's see. Scan. Poor, huh? Let's see if I get anything out of here. Ooh, there's a decent spike.
Probe away.
Almost 4,000, 40,000. I get my 2 platinum things. See if I can get one more. That might have done it, but... Oh, there we go. That's even better. That'll do it.
Launching probe.
Yay! I think I'll leave now. It's kind of pointless to continue scanning that. I'm curious. What happens if you run out of gas?
Reserves at 50%.
Thank you. What happens if you run out of gas in a place like this? I don't know what happens. I don't really want to test it out. So if anybody's done it themselves, tell me what happens if you run out of gas out there. Is it just game over? Because that would suck. Alright, let's go get some upgrades. Was it under prototypes? Not really. Weapons. AP sniper. And headshot damage, wouldn't it? I think so. Shield piercing. Ooh, that's iridium. I can afford that. Heavy pistols, palladium, iridium. That doesn't cost anything. I might as well buy it. For the 1 or 2 people that do use assault shotguns. Assault rifle penetration. Hold on, let's back off for a second. I still don't understand that additional damage under the armor section. That doesn't make any sense. But I do have 23,000. Oops, I wanted to get that, didn't I? Okay, so I need more platinum. That's only 1,000. I'll go ahead and buy them for just the hell of it. Tech duration. Okay, I guess that's what you're getting out of it. I need any more. I don't want to spend money on that. Heavy bone weave, 50% less damage from melee attacks. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't really want that either. Tech duration. The abilities last longer, but what is it actually affecting? What abilities are tech? Oh, the cloak is tech. The little tech grenade thing that I throw, neither of which I actually use. But I know I take Tali a lot, so Tali uses them. More tech damage, why not? Tech cooldowns, that would be beneficial. Just get a bunch of tech stuff just because I can afford it, and I take Tale a lot. Oh, all the tech stuff is gone. Awesome. Biotic duration. I think I need emergency shielding. 25,000 of that. And I can get biotic cooldown. Damn, I can go ahead and fully upgrade that. Awesome. So emergency shielding is really all I need. That's 25,000 plat. Assault rifle, heavy pistol. Palladium and palladium. I can actually afford both of those. Let's go ahead and get those. Modular probe bay is iridium. Advanced. Well, let's see what the mineral scanner does for me. Why not? So I need 25,000 plat. I don't really care about either of those. Really, it's just the 25,000 platinum for the shields. And maybe... ugh. Maybe 3,000 element 0. Just for the hell of it. Let's watch what all these little cards say real quick. Biotic duration. Tech duration. Damn, there's a lot of cards to open. Pro booster. Argus scanner. Sabot jacketing. Keep going, keep going. Biotic damage increased. I thought we already looked at biotic duration. There we go, now the cards are starting to decrease down there. Tech damage 3 of 5. Oh, it's going in reverse. Okay, I see what it's doing. Tungsten sabot jacket for the sniper rifle. Awesome. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I did the Rex and Grunt question just recently, didn't I? Okay. First off, let's jump to another area, shall we? Shadow Sea I've already done. Nubian Expanse. Hades Nexus. That sounds awesome. Let's go over there. Ooh. It's a neat little red planet. Okay, what brought you into the gaming world? As far as I remember, I've always been in the gaming world. I started gaming a long time ago when my parents bought me the original Nintendo. And I've been gaming ever since, really. I've always been a Nintendo fan as opposed to a Sega fan, personally, back in the day. There are particular... I'm skipping some of these spikes because there are particular stuff I want. There's no real reason to waste a buttload of probes on stuff that's not going to get me the upgrades I want. Here we go.
Probe
I
launched.
need 25,000 platinum. Might as well, that's big
Probe
enough.
launched.
So yeah, I've been gaming since I was a little kid, so that's no huge surprise. Most of my friends have been based from gaming, or my interest in computers for that matter, which leads to gaming. So yeah, that's basically what got me into it. I know a lot of people are like, I got into gaming because I watched some dude on YouTube play a video game and it looked really fun.
Probe away.
I've been doing this since, shoot, like 1988, 1989, somewhere around there. That's when I started gaming, so I've been gaming for a long time. I don't know what games were coming out back then because I know I did not get the original Nintendo when it first came out. So, I don't know. I've been gaming for a long time. The end. Rich. Nice.
Launching probe.
What was the first game you really loved? I actually
Launching probe.
talked about this question with Capricious for a while because I was like, I don't know what the first game I really loved was. And then I had to,
Probe away.
I basically had to take the question at face value. What was the first game that I really loved? The first game I probably really loved was the original Legend of Zelda. It's dangerous to go alone, take this, you know, that kind of stuff. What was
Probe launched.
I think that's another question, hold on. I don't actually see the question on this list, so I think I either omitted it or I didn't actually get this specific one. Maybe it was while I was talking to Capricious that we went over it. Was, you know, what was the first game you really loved, and then what are your favorite games?
Launching probe.
Obviously now some of my favorite games are like the Mass Effect series, the Assassin's Creed series,
Probe away.
things of that nature. One of the first games I truly loved
Launching probe.
was probably Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I also really love a lot of the Zelda games. There's a few that I'm just kind of like, on. I'm not a huge fan of the Wind Waker series of Zelda games. However, Capricious is. She loves those.
Probe launched.
I prefer more of the Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess style Zelda games. Although I haven't played the newest one, I've got it. As he turns around and looks over by the TV, trying to find it. Not that it really matters. I haven't played it yet, because I've currently been a little too obsessed with Mass Effect, but I will eventually play it. I'll see if I like it. But it looks really good.
Probe away.
I really liked Super Metroid.
Probe launched.
I tend to agree with most people in saying that the Super Nintendo was probably the best gaming console ever.
Probe launched.
It had some of the best games ever made on it.
Launching probe.
Damn, this is very rapid mining this place out. It's all centrally located mostly.
Launching probe.
I'm gonna get my 25,000 platinum here pretty quick.
Probe launched. Probe away.
Some good chunk element 0. I think I needed either 3 or 5,000 element 0. I can't remember. I'll get 5,000 just in case.
Probe launched.
Then like on the original Nintendo, some of my other favorite games were stuff like, when I was really young, I really loved Tiger Heli on the original Nintendo. That game was a very strange yet awesome
Probe
game.
launched. Probe away.
God, let's see. I didn't really play the Nintendo 64. I basically skipped that system completely because at that time, I had the Super Nintendo. I was getting really into PC gaming at the time, so I kind of bypassed that console. Let's go back. That's it for this sector. Okay. Sheol, that doesn't sound promising. It's a very negative sounding system. Odd, because there is only one planet.
I have detected an anomaly.
Look at that!
Launching probe.
BAM!
I have found something.
You think? Let's go back to scanning. Ooh, Quarian crash site. Hell yeah!
Probe launched.
Sorry, I got excited. I like the Quarians. They're cool. And by this point,
Probe launched.
in the playthrough, you can probably tell I'm attempting to romance Tali,
Probe away.
because I like the color purple and I like Quarians. Let's see. There's a good chunk of zero. What was I just talking about? Favorite game? See.
Probe launched.
Why have you taken the Paragon approach? Sorry, hold on. I lost it. Is that the best places ever? I've taken the Paragon approach primarily because I prefer to play good characters. That's just me, personally. I do like douchebag characters. That's primarily why I'm playing through Mass Effect 1 again as a female bitch, for lack of a better phrase. I'm playing through and just doing all the negative renegade options just to see what the storyline differences are. So I get the renegade storyline changes and I get the female storyline changes all in a single gameplay. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. And that kind of rolls into the next question of how do you think your character would differ if you were playing Paragon? Well, obviously they differ a lot. I will find out. I'll say that. I have a feeling that people will be more scared of me. That kind of goes without saying. Okay, I'll come back for you now that you're added to my mission map. Wow, okay. What? Interesting. I don't think I need any of these. What are your main influences in starting uploading Let's Plays onto YouTube? Obviously, like most people know, my primary influence was X. He was doing it, and I was watching his videos, and I was like, wow, he's getting really good responses. People really enjoy his videos. I think this is something I might be interested in doing. So I went over to his house a couple of times and I was like, show me how you do this. This is something I might want to get into. And so he gave me kind of rundowns on how to record videos and how to edit footage, how to make it entertaining. Stuff like that. So everything I've learned from either X initially or experience. I've altered things the way X does them. He does some things differently from the way I do. I'm not nearly as anal in how I edit my videos. And while I will say that I noticed the difference between the editing quality in X's videos and mine, I do know that they're not significant enough for me to put as much time into it as Dave does.
Probe launched.
So I respect him for the amount of work he puts into his videos, but I'm not going to put that much work into my videos, no offense. I thought I saw something blinking in here. I'm just going to fly around this real quick, see if there's anything else. Nope, just that. That was weird. I didn't expect that. Okay. Another rich planet. You know, I could probably buy my stuff now.
Probe launched.
Didn't even think of that. There were a couple of other YouTubers
Launching probe.
at the time that I watched. None of them
Probe away.
None of them really were at the time
Launching probe.
as successful as somebody like X. I did a lot of RPG game watching through a guy named White Mage Serenia.
Probe launched.
That's probably the reason I started up Skies of Arcadia.
Launching probe.
So I never thought that doing a Let's Play of an RPG game would be entertaining until I watched some of his.
Probe launched.
And I was like, huh, this can be done. And obviously it doesn't seem that hard. He's not having a difficult time doing it.
Probe away.
Might as well collect some Element Zero while I'm here, right?
Launching probe.
I might get some other upgrades later on. I also watched Proton John, and at the time I didn't watch very many gaming channels. Now most of the gaming channels I watch are like X, Abe.
Launching probe.
God, do I have any other friends that do it? I watch Northern Lion a lot. I haven't watched a lot of his recent stuff.
Probe launched.
I watched like the first 10 episodes of his Dark Souls or whatever it is he's playing right now. I get Dark Souls and another game similar to that mixed up that came out a while ago. It wasn't Dark Souls, it was something else. But it was another nearly impossible game.
Launching probe.
Similar to Dark Souls. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, those are the gaming channels I tend to watch now. And then I watch a lot of science shows. I watch Veritasium and Vsauce and Minute Physics and a couple of other people that are incorporated in with those guys. And I watch the two brothers that send vlogs back and forth to each other. I'm gonna feel really stupid if their channel is just called the Vlog Brothers, but I want to say that's what it's called. I'm really entertained by
Probe away.
intellectual channels now. And I find other like incredibly popular YouTubers to be annoying and impossible to watch.
Probe away.
I also watch things like Freddie Wong and
Launching probe.
who's his brother that's doing the cooking show now? Feasts of Fiction. That's good.
Probe launched.
That's basically what I watch now on YouTube, because that was another question. What do you watch on YouTube? Where do you and Pineapples currently stand relationship-wise? For those of you who don't know, there was one day that I said that it was a very strange day because I went to bed one night not feeling too well, and then I woke up the next morning and there was pineapple on my feet. It was a very strange situation, and I don't really want to go into it that far. But let's just say me and Pineapple, we're on a pretty good relationship right now. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go to this fuel depot. I'm going to cash in real quick. do some upgrades, and then see if I need to continue probing or if I can move on. If so, I'll try to throw a bunch of other questions in here real quick. Was it weapons? It was armor, emergency shielding. Okay. Extended fuel cells, why not? Medbay upgrade needs a ton of platinum. Weapons. Shotgun damage. Well, I've got the money, I might as well. Large-scale, highly explosive weaponry, obsolete in infantry weaponry. Inflicts damage with a large area of effect. Very effective against armor, shield, and barriers. I'll go ahead and get that. Why not? Prototypes. Subject 0 biotic boost. Why not? Advanced training. That gives me an extra power. Heavy bone weave. I've got plenty of palladium. Retrain powers I do not want to do. I think I'll save that for now. Let's just checking out my upgrades. See what these cards say. I might want to go get a little more. Let's say I wanted to get... I can actually buy that. Why won't it let me? One more heavy skin weave upgrade. Oh, I don't have another heavy skin weave. 2,000 iridium for that weapon. Another 40,000 platinum. Iridium and platinum. I think I'll do that, just for the hell of it. I've got a bunch of extra questions I need to answer, so... Okay, let me rearrange my legs real quick. Okay. So what question was I just answering? Pineapples, yes. I needed iridium, a little iridium, and a buttload of platinum. Okay. I need to go to Pamyat again. I didn't finish over there. Was it this planet I was just scanning that's still rich? Yes. Okay. Here's the iridium I need.
Launching probe.
Did you go to college? And if so, what for?
Probe away.
Did I go to college? Yes. Did I finish college? No.
Launching probe.
I initially went to college for computers, which should be pretty obvious by now.
Launching probe.
I was studying computer networking at the time because I was working at a dial-up ISP and doing tech support there. And everybody was like, you need to know
Probe launched.
computer networking of some sort so that you can help people and blah 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 blah.
Probe away.
And then I ended up leaving that job and I did trailer sales. By trailers I mean like mobile homes. And that didn't go too well because I'm not very pushy. Oh, it's depleted. Damn, that was fast. Then I did retail sales at a big box store, which for those of you who don't know means a national chain store.
Launching probe.
And then I did retail sales at a regional electronics store. And I did that for like 4 years, give or take. And then I went back to tech support, which is what I'm doing now. And I love it. I'm doing... That was another question I had, is what is your current job? So those are most of my past jobs. But my current job, I work at a small, relatively small,
Launching probe.
currently Texas-only based corporate IT firm. And basically what that means is we do computer
Launched.
computer support for corporations. A lot of companies in Texas. And they're scattered all over Texas. Granted, I don't move, but I do a lot of traveling now. Those of you who follow me on Twitter, link below in the description. Those of you who follow me on Twitter know that I periodically tweet when I'm leaving town on jobs. And being in Texas, that could mean driving 4 to 6 hours while staying in state.
Launching probe.
And doing my work, which is fine by me. I enjoy travel a bit. Where are we? It was over here. There it is. So that's what I do, and I really enjoy it because I tend to deal with customers who have a more, on average, have a better grasp of technology than most people. So it's not nearly as frustrating as some other tech jobs can be.
Capacity.
Oh, because I upgraded my fuel. I was like, why am I half capacity? That doesn't make sense. Some people said it's very expensive to buy gas and probes, but I've hardly spent any money on this. Let's go buy that one thing I needed. It was element 0 for something, I think. No? Prototype? No, it was this. Iridium. I got a lot more iridium than I actually needed. Can I buy more stuff? Yes. Rifle penetration and shield piercing. 25% assault damage against armors, shields, and biotics. I take more shotgun style people with me than I do rifle, so... But I'll get both, because they're both available. Or did I just use what I needed for my shield upgrade? Damn it! Ah, crap. That's okay, I still got a few more questions. Let's keep going. Alright. I'll check out these cards before I go. I'm calling these cards. I don't know what these little pop-ups are actually referred to. The avalanche. I don't know what that does. I don't care. I'll use it on one of these mini missions. What headset do you use? Currently, I use the Plantronics GameCon 777, which I really like. I want to go there. I would like an upgrade because I'm starting to have minor issues with this headset. It kind of cracks and pops every once in a while in my ear. But other than that, that's the only downside I've had with them. And I think that's just because of the amount of... what did I need? I need platinum, so I can skip everything else.
Probe launched.
I'll only get them in big spikes. Like that one.
Probe launched.
But I would like eventually to upgrade my own headset to the GameCon 780, which is currently the upgrade to the 777.
Probe away.
Primarily because it has metal bars
Launching probe.
that connect the headband of the headset to the ear cups.
Probe away.
And I've had to personally buy 2 or 3 of the Gamecom 777s
Launching probe.
because I'll take them off my head wrong because I'm tired or something, and I'll twist it just right,
Launching probe.
and the plastic connector between the headband and the cups will crack. And then, of course, they don't fit right. If they don't fit right, I don't get good audio. The mic doesn't sit in the right spot on my face, so I don't get good recording.
Launching probe.
It just all snowballs from there. So I've had to buy like 3 of these sets for myself, and they're not cheap. They're like $100. And the 780 has those metal connectors, and that would make it a whole lot better because I would never snap them in that same location. So eventually I'll probably either save up for them or ask for them like next Christmas or something if I don't have enough money saved up by then. But I mean, hey, if y'all want to donate and give me money so I can buy them, go ahead. But no, I'm going to save up for them anyway. Let's see. Oops. Go. Stop it. Here we go. Moderate.
Launching probe.
Can you convince David, otherwise known as X, to show his face? Short answer to that, no. Long answer to that, no. I cannot convince David to do anything. David is very, very independent. And while I can say, hey David, a lot of your fans want to see your face, his response to that would be, ha 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 ha, sucks to be them. And then that would basically be the end of that conversation, because he's like, huh, they're never going to see it. If David ever decides to show you his face, he will do it completely on his terms, and there is basically nothing anybody can say that will convince him to do it sooner.
Probe away.
So that's the end of that. I have a hard enough time convincing David to release videos that he's already got recorded and ready to go. I'm like, dude, you should release another video. He's like, I don't feel like it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not one to tell you how to do stuff on your channel, so you do whatever you want. Let's see, is there anything else? It says poor, but there was a little spike over here. Not enough to waste a probe on, really. Oh, there we go.
Launching probe.
Star Trek or Star Wars? That should be obvious by now. I'm definitely a Star Trek fan over Star Wars. I do like Star Wars, but not as much as most Star Wars fans like Star Wars. They're like religious about it. Me, not so much. I like the movies. I think they're good.
Launching probe.
If I had to choose for one to be struck out of existence and have never existed, I would say Star Wars. No offense to all the heavy Star Wars fans out there, but I just like Star Trek better, personally.
Probe away.
Oops, hold on. See, there I go, and my headphones cut out for a second. So let's see. I'm not saying that Star Trek is better.
Probe launched.
I'm just saying that I like it better. See, I need 50,000 platinum. Oop.
Probe away.
Man, I like having all these extra probes. That's awesome. I should have done this at the beginning when I was like, nah, I don't want them.
Probe launched.
What is your favorite type of music? I listen to a lot of types of music. There are a few types I don't like. I'm not a fan of rap, hip-hop, or country. Except indie hip-hop. I like that.
Launching probe.
But I'm not a fan. If there's a hip-hop artist that's selling a lot of albums, I probably don't like them. They're too much about, like... I don't use the generic statement, but it's... Too many of the songs are about, like, bitches and hoes, and about, like, drugs, and... having lots of money, and that's basically the extent of the song, and I'm like, that doesn't interest me at all.
Launching probe.
And I don't listen to songs for like club beats and junk like that. If I had to pick a particular genre that I preferred over the rest, it would be rock. I like heavy metal, I like classic rock, I like modern rock.
Probe away.
I also like classical music in general. Not a real big fan of pop. Most of it seems a little too, yay, pop music, wee. I like techno, and when I say techno, I prefer straight up techno. I don't fully understand the obsession with dubstep.
Probe launched.
Primarily because dubstep is basically just techno with bass. Although I do like Deadmau5.
Probe away.
So I'm not like saying I hate dubstep music or techno electronica. It's just I have specific tastes in it. A lot of people are going to go, "What do you think about Skrillex?" It's okay, I guess.
Probe.
Not my favorite. I prefer Deadmau5 over Skrillex. So there's that. Let's see.
Launching probe.
Hurry up. I think that's going to be it for this planet. Yep. Oh, wait. That might be enough. Okay.
Probe launched.
Good enough for me. Oops, that was too far. And then that actually brings us to our final question. So let's hope I'm able to probe a planet here soon that gives me enough platinum to do what I want. Oh, look at that. Relatively straightforward. Moderate. Nah. So the final question I got.
Launching probe.
Well, it's not the final question I got, but it's the final question I'm gonna answer is. Hold on, sorry. I might answer a couple others, but they're not ones that have been written down. Depending on how long it takes me to get enough platinum, I'll start talking about other things. God, this planet seems rather boring. Oop. There we go.
Probe away.
What is your favorite movie? This, again, is another one of those unfair questions. I can't answer.
Probe.
I have a lot of movies that I love. I'm a big movie fan. My favorite movies tend to be of the genres of sci-fi and comedy.
Launched.
So let's go down this list of some of my favorite movies, and we'll just leave it at that. None of these are in any particular order. They're just in the order in which I thought of them and wrote them down. So some of my favorite movies are going to include, of course, the original Dune film from like 1984, I think it was. Starred... damn, I was about to say Sean Connery. Patrick Stewart, damn. What the hell? Had Patrick Stewart and Kyle MacLachlan in it. As like Gurney Halleck and Paul Atreides. For those of you who don't know the story, it's a really good sci-fi story. If you're a huge sci-fi fan and you've never read the book or are familiar, watch the movie, you should at least watch that movie. Don't watch like the sci-fi miniseries. It was
Probe away.
the computer graphics were better, but it was obvious that the sci-fi movie series quality was slightly lower because, I mean, they didn't have nearly as much budget as a full feature film did. So
Probe.
all of the desert sequences, obviously with a name like Dune, you can expect there to be desert.
Launching probe.
With the desert sequences, it was obvious that they were filming it on a soundstage, whereas in the theatrical release of the movie, they were actually filming it
Launching probe.
in the desert. I think they went over to like Tunisia for the desert scenes, and it really, you can notice. You're like, whoa, this soundstage, hello.
Launched.
Plus, I feel like the actor choices were better from the original. theatrical release. And, I digress. I'm not going to go into that much further because I could ramble on that forever.
Probe launched.
Bam. I'm almost to that 50,000 platinum I wanted, so I better hurry up. Okay, that's it for this planet. So there's Dune. Again, I want to say the Star Trek series of movies, because I can't. They're all good in my opinion, even the odd-numbered ones from the original series. So I kind of ranked the Star Trek movies in my preference. And much to the chagrin of a lot of Star Trek people out there, I'm going to say that I feel that the 2009 Star Trek movie was probably the best one out of all of them. If it isn't the best one in my personal mind, it's second best. So you've got either the 2009 most recent Star Trek film or Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan being my favorite. The other one would kind of flip-flop back and forth as to which one would be my second. So for now, let's say Star Trek 2009, and then Star Trek II, followed by Star Trek VI: Undiscovered Country, First Contact, Star Trek IV: Voyage Home, Star Trek Nemesis, Generations, and then Star Trek III: Search for Spock, 5, God, what was 5 called?
Launching probe.
Damn, I can't remember what 5 was called. Final Frontier, I think? I think it was the Final Frontier. And then Star Trek 1, the motion picture. It had a good story, but it was bad. And then the worst out of the films, in my opinion, is Insurrection from the Next Generation cast.
Launching probe.
I'm a die-hard Star Trek fan, and I highly doubt anybody from Star Trek's production is here, but I'd just like to say, if they're watching this video, Insurrection, I fell asleep during the movie. I'm sorry. I went to see it in the theaters, and I'm a die-hard Star Trek fan, and I fell asleep during the movie. It was boring. Oh my god, it was dull. For those of you who never watched Insurrection, it dealt a lot with kind of the Next Generation episode Who Watches the Watchers, where it dealt with people, with Federation people that were watching a planet of aliens to kind of judge their, judge how far their society was coming, and then them being discovered. And it was just, the episode was really interesting, but the movie that had the same basic storyline was just dull. Oh, it was horrible. Enough on that. But yeah, the Star Trek series in general was really good. Haystrom, I came here for something, didn't I? I thought I landed here at one point. I must have. Let's go to this planet. Moderate. I am looking for platinum. Keep going. Let's see. Monty Python: The Search for the Holy Grail. That is probably one of my favorite comedies. It is, for those of you who've never watched Monty Python, if you want to get into the series, start with the Holy Grail. It is hilarious. Completely sacrilegious, and if you're extremely religious, you probably don't want to watch it, because it'll probably offend you in one way or another, but it is fucking hilarious. They're constantly making fun of the Catholic Church, and it's more along the lines of poking fun at itself, really. There's also along the lines of poking fun at the Catholic Church, their next favorite film of mine, which was Life of Brian, was about a dude during the time of Jesus being very popular in, like, real biblical times, quote unquote, and about this dude named, generic guy named Brian, who gets confused for Jesus, and then people start treating him like he's the Messiah. And it takes place at the same time, so, like, there's a couple of scenes with Jesus in the background doing his thing, and then people looking over, and Brian just happens to get caught up in something, and people are like, "You're the Messiah," and he's constantly trying to convince them that he's not. And then, of course, what would a good biblical movie about the time of Jesus be without a nice, good crucifixion at the end, right? So they crucify him at the end of the movie. Oh, wait, I probably shouldn't have told you that. Shouldn't have told you that. Shouldn't have told you that. Spoiler alert, 30 seconds ago. Gotha is in Geth's space. Interesting. Rich.
Probe launched.
Then the Tron series. I loved the Tron films. Ironically enough, I would probably say Tron 2 was better than Tron 1, but I loved them both. I know a lot of people gave Tron 2 a hard time, but I was like, that movie was fucking good.
Probe away.
Office Space. Office Space was freaking hilarious. Grandma's Boy.
Probe.
If you're watching video game Let's Plays on YouTube
Launching probe.
and you've not watched Grandma's Boy, stop what you're doing. Go and rent it or get it on Netflix or something and watch Grandma's Boy. It is amazing. And while you're there, watch Office Space 2. It's also hilarious.
Probe away.
And there's a lot of stuff on this planet. I like Geth Space.
Launching probe.
And then I just recently watched a really good movie, and I want to give it some credit.
Probe away.
Everybody needs to go watch Act of Valor. That was an amazing movie. It was bad freaking ass.
Probe away.
Probably the most military speaking accurate movie I have ever seen.
Probe launched.
Which makes a lot of sense considering they had active duty US Navy SEALs as the primary actors.
Probe launched.
And they probably wouldn't have played the movie if it wasn't accurate. They would have been like, fuck that. I think that's all I'm going to get on this planet, really. Back off. Is there another planet here? No, that's 100%. Hey, Matt! Maat. Interesting. One planet. I thought it was over here. Yep. Amut. Moderate. Wah wah. That's anticlimactic. There's something though.
Launching probe.
It looks like I'll have a decent amount of stuff for anything else that comes up later on. Any more upgrades I get. Although I'm gonna spend all my platinum once I get it.
Probe launched.
Those are some of my favorite movies. I have a bunch of others, but I don't want to like ramble on about movies forever.
Launching probe.
Let's see. What other movies do I really enjoy? I didn't write down any more than what I've currently stated.
Probe launched.
A little more platinum, come on. Like 3,000 more. 2 more platinum spikes will do it. Damn. That's it for systems. Let's get out of here. Go somewhere else real quick. And then I'll buy a couple of the the Rosetta Nebula, something Threshold, the Shrike Abyssal. That sounds awesome. Let's go there. Fuel depot, awesome. Unexplored. Rich. Element 0.
Launching probe.
God, what else can I talk about? Just break up and spend some time real quick. So I don't bore you all to death with
Probe
this.
launched.
What are some other movies that I really enjoy?
Launching probe.
I do like the Star Wars movies. The original 3, obviously.
Probe launched.
The next 3 were okay. The first one was bad. Second one was not so bad. And then the third one was good. I like the third one.
Launching probe.
Let's see. I like the Harry Potter series. That's interesting. Haven't watched the last 2 movies though. That's sad.
Away.
Actually, no. I've watched the second to the last one. I watched the first part of the final. I just haven't seen the second part yet.
Launching probe.
See what else. I loved Lord of the Rings. That was really good. And I can't wait to see The Hobbit.
Probe launched. Probe away.
I have high hopes for the 2 Hobbit movies. And I'm actually glad. A lot of people were disappointed he was splitting it up into 2 films. I'm actually glad he's doing that. There's a lot of story to cover. Better safe than sorry.
Probe away.
Okay, that's it for this planet. Back off.
Anomaly detected.
Weapons are ready. Get them back to work. The boss will...
Probe launched. Something on our sensors.
Blood Pack Mercenaries. I'll come back to you.
Launching probe.
I'm almost done picking up. Hey, medbay upgrade. Might as well.
Probe away.
I'll finish mining this planet, and I think that'll be it for the mining video.
Probe away.
Damn, almost 100,000 palladium. Awesome.
Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe launched. Probe launched.
Oh, goodness. What else?
Away.
I love movies, so I want to think about more movies to talk about. I like a lot of the older Mel Brooks films. Those are good. Men in Tights really isn't that old, I guess. What is that, early 90s? I love the Men in Tights movie. I like
Probe away.
Young Frankenstein. Spaceballs, of course, because it's Mel Brooks and sci-fi. That just goes without saying, right?
Probe launched.
Bam. A little more element 0 and I'll be maxed out on the little pillar there. Poor now. Okay, I'll back off. And I'll finish scanning this sector, why not? Moderate. We'll finish scanning the sector, I'll buy the upgrades, and we'll call that it for this video.
Launching probe.
Let's see. I loved the Airplane movies. Those were hilarious. Ooh, speaking of Airplane, any kids that are watching this, and by kids I mean
Launching probe.
probably kids under the age of 14 or so, probably shouldn't watch this movie.
Launching probe.
But everybody else, go find, and it'll probably be difficult to find, go find a copy of Kentucky Fried Movie and watch that. It's, I think it's rated R, so that's why I'm saying that younger kids or parents that are watching this, they're like, oh, he says it's a comedy, let's let our kids watch it. No, don't let your kids watch it. There's lots of nudity.
Probe away.
But it's like a, God, what would I call it? It's like a skit-based movie. There's a couple of primary
probe away.
movies, I'm using air quotes. They make fun of other things. The biggest one in there is, I think, called A Fistful of Yen, which is a
Probe
play
launched.
on Enter the Dragon and other kung fu movies.
Launching probe.
And that was funny. Let's see. There's also Enter the Fist, I think. What was it called? Kung Pao. Kung Pao Enter the
Probe
Fist.
launched.
That's a good movie. The only downside with that movie is that it's like an hour and a half long, but I swear to God, as you're watching it, it feels like it's 6 hours long.
Probe launched.
The story progression is incredibly slow, but it's entertaining.
Launching probe.
If you can work through that, it's a funny movie. Depleted. Is that the end of the sector? It is. Alright, let's go pick up a couple of upgrades inside. And then we should be done for this video. I hope this wasn't too long. Ship enhancements. Medbay! Bam! Weapons. I can do assault rifle accuracy. Might as well. Shotgun extra rounds needs more platinum. I can do without that. Advanced training. Shepard can complete this research project multiple times. Each time the project is completed, Shepard selects a new bonus power. I don't need any more bonus powers, actually. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope I answered almost everybody's questions. If there was a question that didn't get answered that you really wanted to know, post it below in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put a link down in the comments or something. Not in the comments, in the description. Other than that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes.